Hello everyone, my name is Salman and today I'll be presenting on knowledge transfer and local responsiveness in multinational enterprises. This presentation draws from the research paper Building Subsidiary Local Responsiveness. When does the directionality of inter-firm knowledge transfers matter? Published in the Journal of World Business. The focus is on how multinational corporations manage the flow of knowledge between the headquarters and subsidiaries to stay globally competitive while adapting to local markets. The study explores how multinational companies, or MNEs, can effectively balance the transfer of corporate knowledge from their headquarters with the ability of subsidiaries to adapt to local markets. In this presentation, I will begin by explaining the key ideas, findings, and managerial implications from the research. Then, in the second half, I'll show how these insights can be applied to Magna International, a Canadian multinational company operating in the global automotive industry. Moving on to the key findings and the results. So, the study here explores the balance between knowledge transfer from headquarters and the need for subsidiaries to respond effectively to local market demands. The central hypothesis processes that when companies combine strong knowledge transfer mechanisms with the capability for local adaptation, subsidiaries can improve their performance and competitiveness while remaining strategically aligned with corporate goals. Essentially, knowledge transfer and local responsiveness are not opposites. They work best when integrated. In other words, it's not just about sending knowledge from the head office to local branches. It's about enabling a two-way learning system where each side benefits and evolves. So, the main finding of the study, which revolved around three critical dimensions of knowledge transfer. First, we have knowledge codification. This means transforming experience and insights into structured, written, and standardized documentation. Codification helps ensure that information shared by the headquarters is clearly understood and can be applied consistently across different subsidiaries. Second is the local contextualization, where the subsidiaries that take the time to adapt the knowledge they receive, customizing it to fit the local customer preferences. Also, to fit the regulatory environment and cultural differences, tend to achieve much better results. The third one is the organizational learning, where the research found that when both the headquarters and the subsidiaries exchange ideas, experiences, and innovations dynamically, it leads to greater creativity, stronger strategic alignment, and improved global performance. So, overall, the study proves that knowledge is most powerful when it is both shared and adopted. Moving on to the bidirectional knowledge flows in multinational enterprises. So here we have found that one of the most important insights from this study is about the directionality of knowledge transfer, means the direction in which the knowledge flows. So there are two main directions. The first is the headquarter to the subsidiary. This is when the headquarters share the corporate strategies, the technologies, and the operational best practices. The headquarter ensures consistency, efficiency, and alignment with the global goals. The second one is the subsidiary to the headquarters. This is when subsidiaries share back their locally developed ideas, innovations, and customer insights to the headquarters. It helps the entire organization stay relevant and responsive to different markets together. The research emphasizes that both directions are crucial, but they serve different purposes. So, when the business environment is stable from the top to the down knowledge, it helps maintain control consistency when it's from the headquarters to the subsidiary. But when markets are dynamic and unpredictable, like from the bottom to the up knowledge, where it comes from the subsidiary to the headquarters, subsidiaries becomes even more valuable. It allows the headquarters to learn from local realities. Ultimately, firms that create bidirectional knowledge flows, when learning happens both ways, they achieve the highest levels of responsiveness and innovation. So now we will see how do we manage the balance between knowledge transfer and local responsiveness. So here the study identifies that knowledge transfer leads to some advantages where they get the standardized best practices, there is reduced duplication of the work, and also there is better coordination between the headquarters and the subsidiaries. On the other hand, the local responsiveness provides some benefits too. They get faster reaction to the market changes, also the stronger customer satisfaction and more competitive local positioning. So a successful multinational must balance both. They should ensure both global efficiency without losing the local flexibility. Now let's discuss the challenges and opportunities identified in the study. The first one is the knowledge stickiness. So not all knowledge travels easily. Some is deeply embedded in local routines or culture, making it hard to transfer across borders. Knowledge embedded deeply in cultural, technical, or organizational routines can be difficult to transfer. There can be language barriers, cultural differences, incompatible processes, or lack of trust that can hinder knowledge exchange. Another challenge is the potential for tensions between headquarters and subsidiaries. So, headquarters may insist on standardization while subsidiaries push for local adaptation. These can lead to conflict or management misalignment. For the subsidiary autonomy tension, if headquarters keeps too much control, then subsidiaries can't adapt. But if subsidiaries act too independently, it may risk the brand inconsistency. But there are some opportunities as well. The first one is the reverse innovation, where the subsidiaries often develop unique solutions tailored to local needs. For example, low-cost technologies or environmentally friendly practices, which can later be adopted globally. The second one is the capability development. By helping subsidiaries build local expertise and leadership skills, MNEs can strengthen their long-term competitiveness and encourage innovation. The key takeaway here is that MNEs should treat their subsidiaries as co-creators of value, not just implementers of corporate directives. So, we will go through the key takeaways and managerial implications shortly. So, the research concludes with several managerial implications that global companies can apply. First, the strategic integration framework, where organizations should set up formal systems for two-way communication and data sharing, ensuring both headquarters and subsidiaries learn from each other. Second is the adaptive governance model. Decision-making should be shared, global standards should remain consistent, but local managers should have authority over market-sensitive issues. Finally, capability investment, where companies should invest in training programs and digital platforms that make collaboration easier and faster, even across continents. In short, successful M&Es combine structure with flexibility, allowing knowledge to flow freely while maintaining global unity. Now, let's move from theory to practice by looking at Magna International, one of Canada's most successful multinational enterprises. So, Magna is a global leader in automotive parts manufacturing with operations in 37 countries and over 185,000 employees. The company supplies nearly all major car manufacturers from General Motors to BMW and plays a key role in developing electric and autonomous vehicle components. However, Magna faces an important strategic tension. So, for being successful in the market, it must deliver standardized, high-quality components that meet the global safety and emission standard, while they should also adapt to local vehicle design, labor laws, and regional regulations. In other words, Magna's success depends on finding the right balance between the global standardization and local responsiveness. Exactly the balance described in the research study. So here we will see the global standardization versus the local responsiveness of Magna. So Magna's global operations make these two balances particularly complex. On one side, global standardization ensures that all manufacturing plants follow strict protocols for safety, quality, and efficiency. It also strengthens that brand reputation and cost savings through economies of scale. On the other side, the local responsiveness is essential because vehicle designs, environmental rules, and the customer expectations differ from country to country. For example, regulations for electric vehicles in Europe are much stricter than in North America, while consumer preferences in Asia emphasizes compact energy-efficient vehicles. So, if Magna relied only on global standards, it could miss these regional opportunities. Conversely, if it focused only on local customization, it might lose global efficiency. Therefore, like the research suggests, Magna must enable a bidirectional knowledge system where headquarters share expertise globally and regional subsidiaries provide feedback, innovation, and market insights back to headquarters. Now, we will see how the research findings can be applied to Magna International. Based on the study's framework, several strategies can help Magna manage this balance more effectively. So the first one they could follow is they could establish the knowledge codification units. They can create centralized digital platforms where manufacturing best practices, design improvements, and process innovations are documented and then shared across all the global facilities. This will help to maintain the consistency and will also reduce the duplication. Next, they could also empower the regional innovation team. So, if the local teams are encouraged to experiment with new materials, designs, or processes that meet their market's specific needs, then successful ideas can then be shared back with the headquarters for global implementation. Then there will be a creation of a two-way knowledge flow as well. Next should be the implementation of hybrid governance structure. So this structure clearly defines which standards must remain global, such as safety and emissions, and which areas allow for local flexibility, like supply chain sourcing or production timing. Next, they could develop cross-functional communities of practice. So they can promote collaboration by connecting engineers, designers, and managers across different plants, allowing them to discuss challenges and then share the creative solution of the challenges. Together, these practices will transform Magna's subsidiaries into active knowledge contributors, not just receivers. Next, we will go through the expected impact and the recommendation for Magna International. So, if Magna applies these strategies, the impact would be very positive. First, the company would reduce cost by eliminating duplicated work and using regional suppliers more efficiently, and it would also bring new products to market faster since local teams could adapt quickly to the regional needs and regulations. Secondly, the quality and the compliance would improve because every plant would follow the same global standard. At the same time, giving local managers more decision-making power would increase employee motivation and encourage more innovative thinking. Overall, Magna would become more agile, more consistent, and more creative. To make this work long term, I would recommend 4 key actions. I would recommend them to invest in a digital platform that will connect all the plants globally, and I would also tell or suggest them to execute sponsors to support the local innovation initiative. And they should also create career rotation programs so the employees can move between headquarters and the subsidiaries to share the knowledge between each other. And finally, they should conduct an annual review to check how the how well the knowledge transfer is supporting the innovation and the local adaptation. In short, these steps would help Magna strengthen collaboration, drive innovation, and maintain a perfect balance between global efficiency and local responsiveness. To conclude, this presentation shows that effective knowledge transfer and local responsiveness are not separate priorities, they are deeply interconnected. The research proves that multinational success comes from mutual learning between headquarters and subsidiaries. Applying this to Magna International reveals a clear path forward: combine the global efficiency with local innovation through open bidirectional knowledge flows. This approach will not only make Magna more responsive to the customer and regulatory needs but also strengthen its position as a global leader in automotive innovation.